good morning, Bear Nation. We are a couple minutes early, which means while I finish the last of my show prep, we are all going to listen to Shalmagagnar from the album Emergence, I Am the Abyss, while I poke around the internet. Talk quietly amongst yourselves. Hey, Sam. All right, then. Well, here we are. Good morning, Bear Nation. Just doing a bit of research. It is now 8:02 Central Time, Anno Domini 13, November 2020, Friday, the 13th in 2020, which means when the aliens fall from the sky and harvest all of our internal organs for adrenochrome, we will be unsurprised because it is Friday the 13th in 2020. So, good morning. Allison Chains, it's my birthday today. Happy birthday to you. You don't get the whole song, though. We still love you, though. Florida checking in. We are the aliens. Whoa, so deep. Somebody's been reading some Eric von Daniken. Okay, copy that. What's up, Ave Maria? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Bear Independent, current issues, 13 November 2020. Purchase limits in grocery stores are coming back, reportedly due to concerns of the public's response to the next COVID surge. Kroger, Publix, and Harris Teeter are some of the first to declare return to limits. Stop sending me emails, USCCA. I don't... Stop it. I'm in the middle of something. Thanks for the email, though. Yah is sovereign. Trust his plan. Amen. Now, let's talk about Yah and food shortages. The term scarcity of food occurs in this Bible right here 87 times. From the first chapter to the last chapter. It's almost as if the creator of the universe, who lovingly created you and spoke you into existence, wanted you to understand that throughout his historical timeline, occasions occur where there's no damn food. So I would like for you to please stay motivated when you are stacking the food to the rafters. One of the things that very likely could exacerbate this whole food shortage thing, and Christian from Ice Age Farmer did an excellent video on this. I saw it on his Patreon. I don't know if it's been released on his YouTube yet, but let's go over here. Posts from my creators. What was it called, Christian? What did you call this video that you made? It was so good. I loved it so much. Where is it? Where is it? No, does Shield Bear Faith? Nothing fancy. Blaze Coaching Squad. Now I'm Jamaican. Ice Age Farmer. Trucker strike. Media warns stock up now. Shortages coming. Was the name of the video. 12 November, 11:09 a.m. That would have been yesterday, late morning. And in said video, Christian, the Ice Age Farmer, was discussing the exacerbation, get your mind out of the gutter, exacerbation of already taxed just-in-time logistics and supply chains by the coming trucker strike. That I've heard everything from it's going to be one day on the 29th of November to it's going to be 4 days starting on the 26th, going through the 29th, or it's going to start on the 29th and it could last indefinitely. I don't know. You may not know this about me, but I am not a truck driver. Now, I can drive trucks, but I don't do it every day. I am, at this portion of my life, removed from what the scuttlebutt is with all the truck drivers. Truckers won't strike. I don't know. I think some of them might. And if they do, let's just go with if they do, because there's a bunch of y'all who are still huddled in your bunkers with tinfoil wrapped around your dome waiting for North Korea to EMP us back to the Stone Age this very moment. So let's just, if we're going to play the probability game, I think it's more likely that some truckers take a day off than Kim Jong, whatever his name is, drops a warhead on us. Okay? So let's say the truckers do strike. Assuming that they do strike, what is that going to do to our supply chains? Well, if you've been prepping for any length of time, probably what you need to do is stock up on your consumables. You know, bread, milk, eggs, unless you're me, where eggs is not a concern. And by the way, we figured this out. The ultimate disaster meal is French toast. Because what is everybody doing with all that bread, milk, and eggs that they're buying every time a snowstorm hits in the Northeast, or a hurricane hits in the Southeast, or a tornado in the center of the country, or an earthquake on the left coast? They buy bread, eggs, milk. Everybody must be making French toast, man. That's the deal. So consumables, things like that, you know, your toilet paper, you know, prescription meds, things like that. Make sure you have those things stocked up for at least a couple of weeks into the center of December, the middle of December-ish. And then top your fuel off, because what a lot of people forget is that most gas stations get their fuel into their tanks from 18-wheelers showing up and pumping it into tanks in the ground so that you can pump it out of the ground and into your gas tank. So keep your tanks topped up. Or bread pudding, if you, that's right, it could be bread pudding. There's a lot of culinary geniuses out there that are just waiting for the next tragic ice storm so they can bust out their ramekins and get busy. Sounds good. Well, it could make Christmas a little weird. It could make Christmas a little weird. I'm just going to let that statement hang in the air. I sold my cloak and everything. Amen. Praise the Father, I have both a cloak and a sword. Good morning, honey. I just got the don't sing at me, it's too early in the morning look. Welcome to my new show called Nasal Drip with Bear. Would you like to be a guest on Nasal Drip with Bear? Okay, well, we're going to have to schedule you in. It's a very highly sought after position on the internet to co-host Nasal Drip with Bear. So I'm about 3 months out right now, but I'll have my people contact your people. Okay, sounds good. Homemade gummy bears. Earl's daughter, good morning. So, lung clamps with Bear, yummy. Can I borrow one of your swords? Sure, why not? Black sheep, shaloha. So, global food shortages. The FDA is saying that the harvest numbers here in the U.S. are some of the best we've ever seen. However, the farmers themselves are saying, So I don't believe the FDA necessarily. Yamasa Ama Ventures, I think is the name of his channel. Just rolls off the tongue. Yamasa space Ama, A-M-A, Y-A-M-A-S-A space A-M-A space Ventures. I think it used to be Ranch, Yamasa Ama Ranch, but I think it's now Yamasa Ama Ventures. Anyway, that dude knows his stuff when it comes to the FDA and grain projections and market values of inventory and things like that. He does a lot of other videos that are maybe a little bit less outside of his wheelhouse that I don't pay a lot of attention to. But when that dude is talking about grain inventories, pricing, and supply chain, I pay attention because he's been in the game a long time and he knows what he's talking about. That's correct, Badger. It is B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This is bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. So he's talked quite a bit about the concept that the FDA is being, well, they're feds. So we shouldn't say that they're lying, but we could say that they're being far less than truthful with their numbers. If you look around the world, nations are stockpiling food. We know that cities are stockpiling food. Many major cities in the United States are stockpiling emergency rations by the pallet, which makes one wonder, are you stockpiling emergency rations by the pallet? What do you have for capability? You should have food. Is it the only thing you need? Absolutely not. However, the likelihood of you having to shoot somebody is statistically very low, even of times of chaos. If you had to shoot somebody every day, you would still be doing that 1/3 as often as eating. Okay. Good morning, Hot Shot Homestead. Listen, on my way to a job site, unfortunately, I don't get to catch the brief. Bless you. Stay safe at the job site out there. Don't be drawing inappropriate things inside of the porta potty with your Sharpie, man. That's unacceptable. And then the porta potty guy's got to go in there with a little 20-volt grinder and grind all that off. You're just going to ruin his day. So, no lewd pics inside the porta potty or Tina's number from high school. Nobody appreciates that. Also, who's the heathen that keeps peeing on the toilet paper? That's unacceptable. Why do people pee on the toilet paper inside of porta potties? The porta john, that's unacceptable. Whoever you are, we will find you and we will draw and quarter you, sir or madam. And if it's a madam, I'm impressed. I don't know how you're accomplishing that inside of a porta potty, but you probably need a shower, and we all feel very sorry for you. So the point being here, the expectations are already being managed that there's going to be food shortages, coupled with a potential national strike of truckers, which is something like 93% of everything we touch on a daily basis at one point spent some time on a truck. And is it semi-truckers? Is it FedEx truckers? Is it UPS truckers? Is it the trucks that haul all the U.S. mail? Because there's a lot of trucks that come in semis, fuel, Propane, we already talked about that. All your material goods, pretty much everything you touch, including your food, comes on a truck. It's something like 12 semis a day to keep the average grocery store stocked up. So we go 4 days, we're pushing close to 50 trucks worth of food that didn't show up to make sure that your neighborhood, your community, your town has food in it. The Great Reset. It's going to be a great reset out here. I'm not even kidding. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go like full-blown Amish Jew. You know what I mean? Like I'm just beard down to my belly button. I want to get my beard caught in my pants zipper, not my coat zipper. You know, like strip, like all the way down there. I'm going to get some of those fancy Y suspenders and one of them straw hats that those guys really like. I'm going to quit using like any kind of technology at all. I'm going to drill some holes in some boards and build some shit out of wooden pegs with a little mallet. It's going to be a blast. Ride around on a donkey. Why not? Why not? Teach my children archaic German. It's going to be wonderful. Sound good, honey?
Yep. Okay.
Hami is in. I'm gonna, you know what? I got some requirements for you too, though, babe. You're gonna have to wear one of them German Oktoberfest dresses and just carry around liter steins of dark beer. Follow me around everywhere. You cool with that? And maybe some wooden clogs. Come on now. You're going to look great in that little German dress thing. I'm getting a look again from my wife. Not the good look. Not like, that sounds good. We should try that. The like, you're an a-hole. Don't talk to me. I barely had my coffee yet. Look. Bro, we are stocked up on the peanut butter whiskey, although I appreciate your concern. That's another thing. Good morning, Andrew Barnes. The chicken dance. Yeah, exactly. We'll just be rocking some polka. It'll be awesome. Yeah, there you go, Badger. There you go. Brother, you can almost hide a loaf of bread in your beard already. That's right. This is a food storage technique right here. So point here being, watch they manage the expectations of the global supply chain and food shortages. Now, it also seems that for the time being, the murky belief in a Biden win has quelled the intense rioting that was expected. That does not mean that all is well yet, however. More election-related protests are occurring nationwide, and there is still a possibility of new developments sparking trouble. So stay ready. The previously lenient Democratic leaders of riot-torn cities may have changed their tune. There seems to be more of a robust response to the unruly demonstrations in places like Seattle, Portland, and New York City. Oregon's governor, plural, I don't know how he, she, it identifies. Oregon's governor, asterisk, activated the National Guard to assist local and state police and blamed, quote, self-styled anarchist protesters for damage to businesses. Yeah, but also then their businesses that have been damaged or destroyed are in large part because you abdicated the throne of responsibility, sir, madam, it, flurry, whatever, kitty, emoji, whatever you are. You know, to protect and serve should not just be something nice that we scroll onto the side of our police cruisers. Go do it. If you, and obviously the boots on the ground very much more so want to go do it than the governor. That's their job. The governor, however, and the leadership in many of these cities doesn't have the appetite to stand up to the bad guys or is willfully assisting the bad guys. Are willfully assisting the best words. Believe it. These words, if they were all bricks, the wall would already be built. It's the best wall. Believe it. Believe it. The best. Been that way for 20 years. Okay, yeah, I saw that comment. You know, and if you look at the headlines, gosh, the headlines are just I don't even. The news is a little overwhelming at this point. It's like another development in the election that could or could not matter. You can't watch the news. TV isn't reality as we know it. I agree with that. I don't watch the news. I am the news. I'm welcome to the Bear News Network, boys and girls. I mean, latest stories from the Blaze. I'll just read you the headlines. Congressional Republicans split on whether Biden should receive intel briefings. I'm going to go with no. He's not the president, and he is known to be compromised. No, let's not give him any intel. New York Democrat called Republicans jokes, promised to win by an incredibly high margin, and then lost his seat. Good. Federal election officials say the 2020 election was the most secure in American history, quote. Well, if that's the case, then it was way worse beforehand than we ever thought it was. However, I don't believe that. Emmanuel Macron says Biden presidency is a chance to make our planet great again. Shut up, Macron. That's for you, Mackie. Ocasio-Cortez lashes out at Democrat Joe Manchin for rebuking crazy socialist agenda with snarky photo of her glaring at him. This shit is not news. This is maybe news. Pennsylvania judge rules for Trump campaign, says Secretary of State lacked authority to change ID deadline days before the election. That is correctamundo, per my understanding of how the world is supposed to work, and also per their, drumroll please, own laws. So, yeah, Arkansas governor is making a statement today about COVID. Can't wait. I don't know. Currently, you're required by law to wear a mask in Arkansas in all public spaces. I have worn a mask in Arkansas precisely 0.0 times since March of this year. And in large part, I am hopeful that the American people are so over this COVID shenaniganry at this point that we're just going to do what we do best. Yeah, okay, thanks. Great credo, guy. And then just continue to go about our lives to the essentially nullifying whatever the dictate from the lord or lady of the manor is when they pass it down to us peasants. Hey, man, you can't do that. Okay, got it. Thanks. I'll be sure to not do that. You know, I think that there's more and more of that burgeoning across the country. Everywhere I go, where I see, plastered everywhere, make sure to social distance, make sure to wear a mask. It's mandated per blah, 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 blah. You look around, and it used to be like 99% of people had masks on, and the 1% who didn't, people would look at you like you were a freaking terrorist with dynamite strapped to your chest, just sitting there holding a clacker, glaring at them, right? Now, you walk into the same places a few months later, and it's like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. And it's like, hey, man, I didn't care from the beginning. I'm the cool kid, In PA, it's still 99%. Well, Mad Kelly, you've been out here. You've seen it. Nobody cares. Plus, we had the distinct advantage of not having enough people to care anyway. There is not a critical mass of caring folks. There's not enough Karens in the neighborhood to scare everybody into compliance. It's like, I'm good. And then I have seen a very heartwarming trend here lately. A lot of the cattle ranchers around here are all wearing bandanas as masks, but between their cowboy hats and their bandanas and the fact that I know they're carrying, they all look very legit cowboy. And they kind of have, the few that I've seen like that have that gleam in their eye, like, yeah, I'm complying, but I'm also ready to go full-blown desperado if I need to. And I'm like, I dig that. I like that look. That's cool. I like that look. All right, moving right along. We have a wonderful poem here that was written by the head dance monkey in charge that I would like to share with you. Is everybody ready? This is a full-blown poetry stomp from the head dance monkey in charge. Bare facts, oh bare facts. Yes, they are well packed. They are handmade and finely displayed, and they're perfect for when you get schwacked. Right? How good was that? That was the best good right there. So if you anticipate getting some schwacking going on, you should probably have one of these handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever. This is the bare minimum, not to be confused with the bare fact. I mean, look at it. You can even tell. This is the multicam, obviously. If you're gonna buy a multicam, though, I need you to email me a picture of you and all your cool guy gear so that I know that you're a cool guy so that I'm allowed to sell you multicam, okay? Okay. Forever. 12 lives saved already to date and 1 tow. The way this works is it mollies onto your plate carrier chest rig, you know, your headrest, your helicopter, your submarine, your space station, whatever you're in the mood for. And then when you need it, you just pop this tab open like so, and you got this red handle right here. Boom, boom. This is why I designed this in conjunction with United States Special Forces personnel, so that you can get your freaking kit out and use it. Oh, by the way, it's about that big, okay? About yay big. So you can get it out and use it, because now I have everything I need in my hands. It's not bungee corded to the side of my kit. I'm not laying on top of it. It's right here. It's in my hands. Okay. You can rapid deploy this with either hand in almost any position. And a lot of guys are running them on their kit upside down like so that when they deploy them, they pull down, the kit comes out. Super cool, high speed tactical operator. Up top here, you got your combat gauze, as you can see. That is quick clot combat gauze. You guys can't see that. Boom. El Gauzo del Combato, which is, I think, Reynaldito plus me up on this, but I think that's how you say that right there. El Gauzo del Combato. You can add that as an additional at checkout when you're purchasing these here things. Right, goes in a little loop up top. You can also put an additional tourniquet up there, a SWAT tee, a cat, you know, whatever, a couple of crayons. If you're a Marine, you get hungry while you're road marching. Pop that open. Inside of here, you got 1-inch surgical tape. You've got a 6-inch North American Rescue emergency trauma dressing. You have a legit decompression needle right here. Find me another kit for this price point that's made in America, handmade, guaranteed forever, with North American Rescue components available to you as a civilian with a decompression needle in it. I'll wait. Gen 7 cat tourniquet, the best tourniquet on the market. A pair of gloves, because if it's wet and not yours, don't touch it. And then down here in the bottom, you got your shears. Right here, you got your shears, 6-inch or 7 1/4-inch North American Rescue EMT shears, high quality shears, high quality. And then you got your nasal, your nose tube right here, nose noodle, nasal pharyngeal airway with the Surgilube. You got 2 5x9 gauze pads right here, and not 1 but 2, not compact but full size, high-fin chest seals, occlusive chest dressings for sucking chest wounds, so forth and so on. And so that's what comes in the kit. It's everything you need and nothing you don't for dealing with severe bleeding in the extremities through the use of a tourniquet, for dealing with severe bleeding in the junctional areas like your shoulders, your neck, your pelvic girdle, through the use of hemostatic agent like quick clot and pressure bandages, dealing with sucking chest wounds with the high-fin chest seals, dealing with tension pneumothorax with the 14-inch North American Rescue ARS decompression needle, and so forth and so on, designed to treat the most common preventable causes of death in battlefield medicine, severe bleeding and chest wounds right there. These are on 4 continents. They're being used by 4 different branches of the United States military. We sell them to civilians, law enforcement, EMS, public safety, emergency management organizations, churches, schools, all of that. And if you're an agency, organization, church, or school, or you would like to do a bulk order or 10 or more of these, email us at sales@bearindependent.com. And we also probably have grant money to train you and get you products. So reach out to us, and all of our products are HSA and FSA eligible. Let's hear that poetic stomp one more time. Bear facts, oh, bear facts. Yes, they are well packed. Yes, they are handmade and finely displayed. They're perfect for when you get schwacked. Ta-da! PAEMT, that's correct. We actually teach that method in our 4-hour and 8-hour classes, and let's just say it's hard to find volunteers after the first time. You know. Good morning, Rock Broadway. New company slogan, right? Headed to pick up IV fluids today from my vet because my goats are dehydrated regularly. Chad, I know how that is. I hope your goats get so much better. Parakeet assault. It's almost like, dude, you should make an alternate channel called Parakeet Assault and just have videos of parakeets attacking people or you attacking people with parakeets. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. All right. Speaking of crackdowns, censorship is becoming more unified and fiercer. Facebook, Twitter, and the mainstream media, all the giants of speech are shutting down the opinions of the right and working to enforce a single narrative. The president has been flagged and censored multiple times in the last week alone for misleading comments and questions. The censorship is affecting both the big and the small. The pace at which conservative channels, pages, group pages, events, and individuals are being interfered with or digitally eradicated is increasing. In one example, Eventbrite reportedly shut down the March for Trump DC event page and sent out an email saying it had been canceled when it hadn't been canceled at all. These signs of digital tyranny have increased noticeably since the media took it upon themselves to declare Biden the president-elect, prompting a sizable shift to alternative platforms like Parler, MeWe, Gab, BitChute, and so on. In contrast to the presented narrative, RNC Chair Ronna McDaniel said she already has 500 sworn affidavits that include 11,000 alleged incidents of voter fraud. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has presented an almost shocking confidence that there will be a second Trump administration after the dust settles. Response from the left to that C-SPAN video includes claims that it is a coup because Trump lost and accusations of sedition. Well, they're certainly not ones to be pointing the finger when it comes to sedition or about an unwillingness of a candidate to accept the results of an election. Just saying. Hold on, where'd that go? Your show is not as good anymore. It makes me sick to my stomach or something like that. Well then, bro, GTFO. Bounce out, man. Toodles. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Or in other words, get the hell off of my porch. There are many, many, many options for folks to spend their time watching. I'm honored and humbled that you would spend your time watching me. But I'll tell you this, sweetheart, it's not my job to make all of you happy every day. I'm lucky if I can make me and my wife and my kids happy every day. So there's 1.2 thousand of us here, and I'm thankful for that. But some new people are going to come. Some people are going to go. That's okay. That's okay. I don't want to be everybody's cup of tea because then that means I'm watering me down to acquiesce to what your opinion of how you think I should be is. So now I'm catering to the you, not the us. And the you is not the most important thing here. The us is the most important thing here. So, bye, Felicia. Probably was Canadian prepper. LOL for reals. Haters gonna hate. That's right. Sending them an angry parakeet. That now we could listen. Somebody purchase angryparakeet.com. We got this. We're gonna get these little shipping containers, and when somebody messes with you, you just send them a pissed off parakeet. They open the box, it flies out, attacks them, courtesy of parakeetassault.com. Love the show. Well, thanks. Come and take it. Knock, knock, barogram. Hey, Bear, why has the president not come out to address the nation regarding the election BS? Probably because he is listening to his team around him and keeping his mouth shut and letting the proof speak for itself. He does not want to poison the well against himself by saying something that he cannot back up with evidence. That would be my recommendation to the president. Keep your mouth shut. The proof will speak. That the evidence bears out that he is not the president anymore. You don't want to be on record over and over and over and over and over again saying that they stole it from me. I've got the votes. We've got it. We've got the things. It's the best things. Believe it. All the best people are looking into it. It's the best. And then turns out it's not the best. So best strategy is say nothing and let the evidence bear itself out. Gosh dang it, USCCA, quit emailing me. That is the third USCCA pop-up I've gotten since we've been here. Unacceptable. So, let's see. We're 37 minutes into this here shenaniganery. Hey, the world's ending. Biden just got elected president. You're scared because you've failed to move from where the people are to where the people aren't. You're probably going to need some body armor, right? Where do we get our body armor, Bear Nation? Where do we get it? You guys know. Where do we get it? Where do we get it? AF, that's right. AdventureFrontier.com. AdventureFrontier.com. They are our bros. We love them. They're the best. You can go to adventurefrontier.com. Get your armor, your IFAKs, and your fluffy bunnies. For real, your fluffy bunnies, though. Here comes Battle Sam. Hey, Dad. Were you talking about bunnies? Can I eat some bunnies? I like bunnies. You got any bunnies for me, Dad? Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Not under the table, you mongo. Over here. Sorry, Dad. You're not Jay Johns. Okay. So, yes, Abercrombie and Fitch is where we get all of our armor from. Adventure Frontier. I love it. AdventureFrontier.com. Really, they're awesome people. They have awesome products. You can use promo code BearNation for $10 off your armor there. By the way, you can also use promo code BearNation at the store at BearIndependent.com for 10% off everything across the board, whatever it is. And I always forget to tell you all that. So please remember to use promo code BearNation. So Alaska is shut down for 30 days. Stay at the ready. We shall see. Yeah. They have the anti-spall coatings. They got all that stuff. Go check it out. And if you need something that you're not seeing there, for example, like there's 1,200 people on your live stream and only 499 likes. Like if you need something that you're not seeing there, you just go ahead and ask for it. And you send them an email and they'll say, yeah, we can get that for you. Or you know what, let me look into that for you or whatever. Like, hey, maybe give this video some more thumbs ups or something. Long butter. Will tactical fluffy bunnies be available on the website as well? Well, they have fluffy bunny stickers and patches. As for me and my house, we don't have any fluffy bunnies to offer you via the internets. That's not how we roll. Fluffy bunnies are an Adventure Frontier thing, so I would contact them about fluffy bunnyage. Let's see, what else is there? Well, I mean, we could get into some insurgency stuff if y'all want to talk about insurgency stuff, or we could not. It's Friday. Milton Root says insurgency. Yeah. Yep. Happy Friday, Liberty. Do it. Always. Dry Fire Friday. Do it. Thumbs up. Attack bunnies. Oklahoma says no insurgency stuff. Bama Buckeye says yes. Insurgency, please. Yes, do it. Yep. All right. Well, by popular demand, insurgency stuff. Matt Bays. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. You know, it's Dinjarine. Thank you. It's not that I don't care about people's feelings. It's just I will never let one bad apple spoil the bunch. And I got to do me, man. If I don't do me, why am I doing this? This is not a popularity contest. I think the people that know me in real life know that I'm not out here looking for people to love the persona of Bear. I have tried to be very intentional with my life that we maintain person, not persona. I'm not getting up here putting on an act for you. In fact, many people who meet me for the first time go, "Oh, you're like this all the time." Yep. I'm not playing. I'm not faking. I don't have time for that. And when I do, the rare moments that when I do, I can feel it, that it's wrong. I'm not going to be party to that. So if there's people that don't want to be here, I'm not keeping them here. If there's people that want to be here, welcome. Glad to have you. Rob the Sparky, shalom. Good morning. And the other thing is that my communication style is very direct. Logan, shalom, brother. All right, insurgency. Let's look at, you know, chicken, you're really not helping me out over here. General insurgent goals for terrorism and guerrilla warfare. Let's take a look at that. Insurgents typically work towards achieving 10 general objectives. I guess we're going to read all 10 as they gain the support of the population. Insurgent activity, like all other aspects of the insurgency, develops and evolves over time. Obtaining popular support. Insurgent operations are normally focused or directly or indirectly at decreasing support of the existing government. Simultaneously, competent insurgents try to gain support for the insurgent movement through propaganda, coercion, or by causing terror. Sounds very 2020, doesn't it? If they cannot gain support, active support, they will seek passive support such as silence. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act. If they cannot gain active support, they will seek passive support such as silence. Undermining host nation legitimacy. That's us, y'all. Trump 45. Need coffee. Disastercoffee.com.
The new bear store is live.
The new bear store is live, said my wife. Good job, wife. Apparently, there's a brand new bear store. Y'all should go check it out. I don't even know what it looks like. Undermining host nation legitimacy. Insurgent efforts can damage or destroy both real and perceived economic and political targets. The loss of government services, overreaction by government forces, or the belief that the government is powerless against the insurgency contributes to the population's dissatisfaction with the government. Overreaction by government forces is key. It's one of the things that insurgents use. They attack, the government counterattacks, and what they're trying to get the government to do is to commit atrocities in the eye of the populace, which endears the populace to the guerrillas and against the government. They want to force overreaction by the host nation government. Usually this ends up with the government retaliating, and there's some type of wholesale slaughter of women and children, the burning or bombing of entire towns or cities or regions. And then when that happens, the people that live in those towns and regions that had their wives and children killed go, F you, government, I'm joining the insurgents. That's a major portion, a major pillar of insurgent actions, is forcing or trying to force overreaction by host nation governments. Okay, lessening government control. By defeating small government forces, remaining government forces can be forced to consolidate in larger size elements or bases. This can reduce the overall presence of the counterinsurgent forces and allow an insurgent force to operate openly where counterinsurgent forces are not, if even for a short amount of time. This can create the perception that the insurgency is increasing its control or the government is losing control and legitimacy. Pastor Joe Fox at Viking Preparedness, whom I follow on Patreon, whom you should as well, posted a video yesterday about Jewish partisans during World War II, many of which were women. In fact, the video focused about female partisans, Jewish female partisans during World War II resisting the Nazis. And at one point, one of the ladies makes a comment talking about how she and another, like two boys, two girls, essentially, went for a stroll. And they strolled from the countryside into the city. And while they were strolling, they were carrying explosives. And they were embedding these explosives in power transformers along their walk with remote timers. Or I think they were timers, timed detonators. And then on their walk back, boom, 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 things start going off and the city loses power. Well, that's a direct blow to the host nation there by insurgents, partisans, things like that. And that's one of the most difficult things with guerrilla warfare, is it's very difficult for conventional forces oftentimes to combat the asymmetrical warfare employed by guerrilla forces and insurgents. Eyes to see, ears to hear. Eyes to see, ears to hear. Providing psychological victories. The guerrilla seeks to gain small psychological victories. These victories do not need to be significant in terms of material damage to the government or its armed forces. These tactical victories show that a small guerrilla force can defeat the much larger government force. Another example that was in that video yesterday was that there was a railroad trestle, like a bridge that trains drive over. And explosives were set with a pressure switch underneath the trestle. Train drives over the trestle blows up, and the train gets thrown everywhere. And then waiting in the bushes with submachine guns were a whole bunch of these partisans. As the soldiers who were on the train start exiting the burning, wrecked train, they get mowed down. If you think about the application of force there, it was a small amount of explosives and submachine guns in adequately trained but not well-trained hands against a train filled with professional soldiers. And who won the day? Asymmetric warfare. Back to insurgency. Tying up or blocking host nation government resources. This is one of the best things or worst things that can be done here, depending on which side of the game you're on. Think about like football and linemen just standing there pushing back and forth against one another. Well, as those guys, if I'm on the defense and you're on the offense, I'm getting in there and I'm trying to get the ball, and I can't because you're standing there holding me back. Well, I'm tied up. I'm not actually contributing to doing anything meaningful because I'm literally held up. I can't get past you. You're tying up resources, right? By forcing the host nation government to expend resources on military operations against guerrillas, the insurgency seeks to tie up resources that could be best used by the government to provide services and development programs to the populace. Remember that we just discussed lessening government control as a pillar of insurgencies and undermining host nation legitimacy. So by tying up government resources to fight guerrillas, that undermines the host nation government legitimacy because there's things that they should be doing with those resources, like taking care of the populace, but instead they're fighting these guerrillas. Weakening host nation resolve. By defeating small elements of the host nation's security forces and attacking government agencies, the guerrilla weakens the resolve of government employees and forces. Small government forces and agencies become aware of their vulnerability. Desertion, absence from work, willingness to compromise, difficulty in recruiting, or limitations on services to dangerous areas all benefit the insurgency's purpose. Weakening resolve. Intimidating the population. By attacking vocal opponents and certain types of individuals, such as teachers, the insurgents seek to frighten the population. Acquiring supplies and equipment. This is key. Where did those Jewish partisans get those subguns? They didn't make them. They didn't buy them. They acquired them. Also known as battlefield pickup. Guerrillas seek to acquire government weapons, uniforms, equipment, supplies, or vehicles. If you paint that picture on a large enough scale, now you're getting into tradecraft as well. Because if I have your weapons, your uniforms, and your vehicles, and your equipment, including radio equipment, I can effectively pretend to be you for a limited or even extended period of time, which means that I'm not only piggybacking on your operational capability, I have massive plausible deniability and cover for action to get in and totally destroy the way that you do things. I can act behind your lines. I can have access to very high priority, otherwise guarded targets. I can maneuver more freely. I can do me. I say I'm not that I would do this. But the acquiring of supplies and equipment from the host nation by guerrillas is a massive portion of what they aim to do. Flip side of that is you look at like Navy SEALs in Vietnam running around with AKs and wearing sandals and eating what the locals ate. Why? Because in conflicted zones, the enemy had a much more difficult time determining that those people over there or the people that they were tracking were actually the enemy, because the SEALs took it upon themselves to dress and act and equip themselves like their enemy. It's the same thing. It's the same concept, just applied in a different direction. Infiltrating host nation government and government forces. Insurgents will often attempt to infiltrate various government ministries and security forces by emplacing sympathizers and by converting existing members of those agencies. These infiltrators are used to gather intelligence and to subvert operations. And as discussed, lastly, Causing counterinsurgent security force overreaction. Since a Cohen, counterinsurgency fight is the fight for the population. Often the intent of insurgents using terrorism or guerrilla warfare is to cause a heavy-handed response to attacks on the part of the counterinsurgent force or the host nation security forces. These responses will often drive the population to support the insurgency, creating the opportunity for overreaction by the host nation government is, again, a key pillar of an insurgency, because when they overreact, when the government overreacts, that engenders the populace to the insurgency. So, oh yeah, 1313. I am on Parler. I haven't done anything except take a profile pic on there, but I'm on there. So I'm also on Instagram until they throw me off of there. And our Instagram is tied to our Facebook. I don't do anything on Facebook. Nothing. I've made 0 posts on Facebook. Earl's daughter, shalom, sister, bless you. Bless you, Bama Buckeye. Yeah, as far as turkey for Thanksgiving, I don't got to worry about that. We got some to choose from. What is Facebook? Well, it's essentially it's a public-private partnership between one of the reptilian elites and the deep state. Counterinsurgency techniques, Patriot Trucker. So that's a good question. The counterinsurgency techniques would be, if we were to look at everything we just discussed as far as lines of effort for an insurgency, we would want to counter those. So if an insurgent is trying to obtain popular support, we want to make sure that we as counterinsurgents maintain popular support and we decrease the burgeoning popular support of the insurgents. We cannot let them undermine our host nation legitimacy or gain control of the government. We have to make sure that we are not giving them opportunities for psychological victories and that we are not overreacting to their signs of aggression. That we are, as counterinsurgent forces, not unnecessarily tying up resources that could be better used to serve the populace by fighting small bands of guerrilla warriors. That our resolve is not being weakened, that we're not allowing the populace or ourselves to be intimidated, that we're not creating opportunities for our equipment and materiel to be seized by our enemies. Good morning, child. That we are staying mindful of the possibility of being infiltrated by insurgents. And again, like I said, that we're not overreacting. It's the inverse. The lines of effort for one are the opposite of the lines of effort for the other. Essentially, these lines of effort are the metrics with which we're playing the game. And while one team seeks to move the ball down the field this way, the other team is seeking to move the ball down the field this way. So, Matthew Storms, get up and get coffee, sir. Arduin Crowley, you sent me a copy of the scriptures just because I asked for it. Praise Yah for the ability to stay in communication with the Most High. Thank you, Bear. Bless you. May the Father smile upon you. That's awesome. Let's see what's going on over here in our silver linings. Well, first of all, listen, your life is probably a disaster, but your coffee doesn't need to be. So if you could do one thing today to get, Jordan Peterson, what does he say? Clean your room, pet a cat or something. But what he should say is get some disaster coffee in you. Disastercoffee.com. We have some samples en route for the Bear Nation blend coming, which I'm very excited about. High caffeine content. But in the meanwhile, don't be shy. Get you some pandemic blend. The supply drop is like my jam. Get you some supply drop from disastercoffee.com. They tithe to Grindstone. They support several other ministries as well. They're awesome people. In fact, they created a coffee business to be able to generate revenue to put into the hands of good people who are doing the things to serve the Father's kingdom. So their whole business model is awesome. So disastercoffee.com. Check them out. Yes, Ranger Girl, straight up Bear Nation blend. We got some samples coming. I'll keep you guys clued in on it. And then, of course, you have Amendment, the number one preparedness, A1P, amendment1preparedness.com. If you need prepper commo gear, that is the place to get it. Amendment1preparedness.com. They make the best prepper commo gear I know of. So please check them out, as well as battery backups as well. He has some really cool stuff going on. So check them out. Go give their page a look. Good morning, neighbor.
Good morning, neighbors. I heard your boisterous voice.
Here I am talking to the people.
Hello, America.
Do you want to say hi to 1,200 people?
I'm bashful.
Okay. That's fine.
Brush my hair.
And then Sanctified Supply Co., the unofficial uniform of the Bear Nation, the Stay Humble and Kind shirt. They have the Warrior hoodie is also awesome. Exodus 15:3, Yahweh is a warrior. Yahweh is his name. So go check that out. And then, of course, grindstoneministries.com.
Can I put your grandma's?
Can you go to grandma's? Hold on. The situation is devolving rapidly. Hey, shh, toddler's gonna toddle, bro. However, grindstoneministries.com, fall fundraiser. Good morning, ma'am. I love your backpack. It's really working for you. Are those llamas?
I'm a mama llama.
You're a mama llama. I love it. I love it. Tacticalllamas.com. At grindstoneministries.com, not tacticalllamas.com. At grindstoneministries.com, you can find our fall fundraiser. A $5 bill gets you entered in the chance to win over $3,000 worth of awesome preparedness gear. You know, ballistic helmets, brain buckets by Billy, plate carrier, armor, you know, it's just the whole nine. Radios from Amendment 1 Preparedness, Lithocore X. It's got 4 Glock slides in there, a custom buffalo handled knife, swag bag, coffee, hero soap, the whole nine. There's a video at grindstoneministries.com that details what all is in the giveaway, or the fall fundraiser, rather. We have to call it that for legal reasons, the fall fundraiser. But it's awesome. And then we take those funds and we use that to fight against human trafficking and sex crimes. So if you could support us in that, we'd be very grateful. And thank you to everybody who already is supporting Grindstone. Y'all are badass. We could not do this without you. I love the Bear Nation. Just like the growing of this first aid kit company has been a relationship between you and I and the provision and blessing of the Most High. That's the same way Grindstone has been. It's been a relationship between you and I and the provision and blessing of the Most High. And y'all are badass. So thank you for pouring into what we do. We could not and would not do it without you. So thank you. Let's go over here to our silver linings for the day. Quote, after putting another 40 pounds of dry beans in buckets this morning, I realized that I had, in fact, finally reached the rafters. Praise the Father. Dog, you just ran down those steps. How did you come up these steps? Bring him home, Sam. Bring him home. That dog murdered something in my front yard last night. Oh, my gosh. The squealing and the arfing. I mean, it was, yeah. All I know is I have a badass wife who got up out of bed, grabbed a rifle, flipped the O-light on, and went to battle dog. And I laid in bed, ready to act as a QRF, but I didn't have to because I have an awesome battle dog and I have an awesome wife. Another viewer said, just found out yesterday that after 9 years of unsuccess, my wife and I will have a baby boy due in late March. Praise the Father. Congratulations. This motivates me to do the things even more. Thank you all. You are good stewards who have delivered Yah's message of how ignorant and dangerously unprepared I was a year ago. I'm still optimistic of our future, but I am ready to take a hard hit if we have to. Praise the Father. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Another viewer says, quote, I've been working overtime overnight, going without sleep so I can use the extra funds for last-minute preps. My 5 sons under 13 have been working hard to trench for water for the chickens that will be delivered in the next few days. We've also been able to gather rabbits in cages. I realize you don't agree with this for an extra meat source. My wife is finally coming around to the idea of how important our preps may become. You know, a brief touch on rabbits. The reason that we don't eat rabbits, and when I say I don't agree with this, listen, it's not my job to write my convictions on your heart. That's the job of the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. We keep Leviticus 11, where it's clearly stated you don't eat things that go forth on pause. If you don't, that's between you and the Father. Rabbits make a lot of meat very quickly. They also make phenomenal manure for the garden. And they're also very easy to keep, has been my experience. So you do you. I don't do rabbits anymore because of the convictions of my heart, but it's not my job to put them on your heart. I can, however, tell you that if anybody is feeling convicted in that direction, read Leviticus chapter 11. And then lastly, we have another quote from a Bear National here. What a year. My wife and I have lost and gained, and by the Father Yah's mighty hand and provision, we liquidated stocks in order to jumpstart our prepping. We now have a Berkey with extra filters for our creek on property. We have at least a year's worth of food and provisions. I've been listening to Bear for years, and 2 months ago, the Father said, it's time, and we haven't looked back. The wife and I have also started keeping Torah, camping with an organization for Sukkot in October, and love the time of Shabbat with our Father. Our life is so rich. Father Yah provides over and over again. Thank you for continuing to work the Father's will. I pray Adonai will continue to bless you and the works of your hands. Well, thank you very much. Let's have a very quick reading, which I was aware of, but was recently sent to me by a brother as a bit of encouragement, assuming that my thumbs will actually do thumb things this morning. Deuteronomy chapter 30. And it shall be when all these words come upon you, the blessing and the curse which I have set before you, and you shall bring them back to your heart among all the nations where Yahuwah your Elohim, the Lord your God, drives you, and shall turn back to Yahuwah your Elohim and obey his voice, according to all that I command you today, with your heart and with your being, and you and your children, with all your heart and with all your soul, you and your children. Then Yahuwah your Elohim shall turn back your captivity and shall have compassion on you, and he shall turn back and gather you from all the peoples where Yahuwah your Elohim has scattered you. If any of you are driven out to the farthest parts under the heavens, from there Yahuwah your Elohim does gather you, and from there he does take you. And Yahuwah your Elohim shall bring you to the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it, and he shall do good to you, and increase you more than your fathers. And Yahuwah your Elohim shall circumcise your heart and the heart of your seed, to love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul, so that you might live. And Yahuwah your Elohim shall put all these curses on your enemies and all those who hate you and persecuted you. And you shall turn back and obey the voice of Yahuwah and do all his commands which I commanded you today. And Yahuwah your Elohim shall make you have excess in all the work of your hands, in the fruit of your body, and in the fruit of your livestock, and in the fruit of your ground for good. For Yahuwah turns back to rejoice over you for good, as he rejoiced over your fathers, if you obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim to guard his commands and his laws, which are written in this book of the Torah, if you turn back to Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul. For this command which I am commanding you today, it is not too hard for you, nor is it far off. It is not in the heavens to say, who shall ascend into the heavens for us and bring it to us and cause us to hear it so that we do it. Well, Yeshua, Jesus literally did that. Nor is it beyond the sea to say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it to us and cause us to hear it so that we do it. Well, Yeshua literally walked on water and his apostles went over the sea to spread this word. For the word, John chapter 1, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, the word. For the word is very near to you, in your mouth and in your heart, to do it. 1 Peter 2:21, for this you were called, that Messiah, having suffered for your sins, that you might walk in his steps, to do it. See, I have set before you today life and good and death and evil, in that I am commanding you today to love Yahweh your Elohim, to walk in his ways, and to guard his commands and his laws and his right rulings, and you shall live and increase, and Yahweh your Elohim shall bless you in the land which you go to possess. Let's talk to the Father. Father Yah, thank you for being trustworthy and true. Thank you for keeping your promises. Thank you for remembering us as we do our best to remember you every day and walk in your ways. Father, thank you for relentlessly pursuing us and for proving time and time again that your arms are longer than our legs. Father, thank you for making a way for broken people to come home again through Yeshua Messiah, and for pouring out your blessings on us, even as we do our best to walk in your ways. Father Yah, thank you for being sovereign over all things. Thank you for being the same yesterday, today, and forever. Father, I pray that you would just continue to convict us as to how to walk this life. Continue to teach us as to how to walk this life, to put a smile on your face and to hear at the end of an age, well done, good and faithful servant. Father, I pray that you would put a hedge around us, around everybody within the sound of my voice, and that we would be able to withstand the wiles of the enemy, that you would backstop us, but also, Father, that we would wield power and authority in your name. Father Yah, if there is anything within the sound of my voice that is not of you, I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach and command it to flee. I pray that you would fill us up with your Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, for wisdom and discernment, for strength, for power, and for authority, for healing, Father, and for peace that surpasses all understanding. Father, thank you for giving us a life and teaching us how to live it. And thank you for empowering us to be your hands and feet and to steward this kingdom here on earth until you come home again and set everything to rights. Father Yah, thank you for these people. And I lift them up to you and set them at your feet and ask that you would bless, protect, and provide for them today. I ask all these things in Yeshua's name. Amen. And with that, my dearest Bear Nation, Shabbat Shalom. We'll see you soon.